Liverpool will be taking on Everton in the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Before we even dig into it, okay, what's your opinions? What's your surface level opinions on this game?
Well, we've had a bad time at Goodison lately. I don't know when last week won there.
I haven't looked past the last 2 games. I was just doing a bit of research.
Yeah.
Last game at Goodison, we lost 2-0. The game before, we drew 0-0. So in the past 2 games at Goodison, we haven't even scored a goal. It's going to be a bit of a tough one.
And I'll be honest with you, Goodison has always been a bit of a stumbling block in our title challenge.
Yeah.
We always drop points there, so I hope this time around we won't. But all I can say is Moisey is back. And he likes to donate 3 points to Liverpool.
Yeah, Moyes actually has a very terrible record in the Merseyside derby.
Exactly. And what better way to close Goodison's derby doors than to give a win to Liverpool?
Oh, we'll accept. Moyes' record in the Merseyside derbies is very poor, as we mentioned. He won just 3 of his 22 in charge of Everton in his first reign. So while he was manager of Everton the first time, he actually won us 3 times. But 3 out of 22. I'm sure it'll be 3 out of 23.
It must have been when Roy Hodgson was in charge of Liverpool.
Some things to obviously note is that both Merseyside clubs now are going to be playing this game after both exiting the FA Cup. Everton got kicked out by Bournemouth, respectable. Liverpool on the other end got kicked out by bottom of the championship, Plymouth. So it's like Liverpool have more of a reason to win this game to bounce back.
As much as it was disappointing, it's a blessing in disguise, I think.
Yeah, I mean, people are talking about it. It's like 4 to 5 less games in the season.
Yeah.
You know, when we were challenging on all 4 fronts last season,
Exactly.
you can maybe say
Because let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. There's not one Liverpool fan that can tell me that he was confident Liverpool will challenge for the league this year.
In the beginning of the season, no.
Yes, because it was all our hopes was to finish top 4. Anything else was going to be a bonus. Preference is now obviously to go for the league title. Carabao wasn't on the list, but now that we are in the final, we have to win it. And then obviously Champions League, as far as we can go, we won't mind. But the league is priority.
I think this is going to be his first Merseyside derby match.
Yeah.
This is a stat though. Only one other Liverpool manager won his Merseyside debut. And then I think for Everton, the main guy that they'll probably look out for to keep quiet is Mo Salah, right? Mo Salah this season, in 23 appearances for Liverpool in the league, 21 goals, 13 assists, 90 shots. He's definitely a danger. And I think Everton this season, since Moyes came in, they've been a bit more defensive also. So I think definitely the likes of Braithwaite, Tarkowski, Pickford, they're all going to try their best to keep Mo Salah quiet.
I looked at the Bournemouth-Everton game a little bit, and I'll be honest with you, there's no one in that midfield that can match us.
Yeah, no, like player for player. I think Liverpool, on paper basically, Liverpool are the better team. But it's just about on the day now. It's the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison. We all know that when that stadium backs their players, it can be a very tough place also. I mean, it proved it last season. So that's what Liverpool need to hope, that we don't allow.
No, one thing for guaranteed, that stadium is going to rock. But I think we've got enough experienced players in the team. The majority of our players have experienced this hostility last season. And I'm sure Aitinger would have whispered in Slot's ears what to expect, because having played for Everton.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't think he'll take it for granted. He knows the importance of a derby, and they would have told him about it ever since he prepared for the initial fixture. And one thing we know about Slot, when it comes to tactics, he very seldom gets it wrong. So
Yeah. I think he'll prepare, and I think now David Moyes, the main tactics to look out for is, I mean, you see these tactics, especially in Everton's last few games now. The 4-0 win against Leicester, the 1-0 win against Brighton, and then even that win against Tottenham. There was a lot of set-piece threats from Everton in those games. Obviously, the 1-0 against Brighton and the 4-0 against Leicester also shows how good they can be defensively. So it's going to be a lot of set-piece threats from Everton and a lot of sitting back and then hoping to counter Liverpool. But so these are the players that's out injured. Armando Broja, right, but he's not really the main striker. The main striker, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, is also going to be out for this game.
Okay, but even if he was there, he was going to be invisible.
Dwight McNeil is also going to be out in this game.
or he's their most creative player.
And Everton's new signing, that Orel Mangala, he's actually been good for them this season, and he's also going to be out. So Everton do have a bit of a weakened team heading into this game. So Iliman Ndiaye, he's been having a good season for Everton, and I think he'll probably, the way he's been playing for Everton, he can either play as a number 10 or he can play on the left, and now that's where Arnold or Bradley's going to be. So he will be the main guy to look out for the right backs for us.
Should we win tomorrow, it's going to knock the win out of Arsenal's sails, because
9 points clear.
The gap will be 9 points. Arsenal's got now another injured attacking player.
They say it's a very light hamstring injury, which could be only a 2 weeks to 3 weeks. So Martinelli probably won't be out for too long. Here's something that Jared Braithwaite said leading up into the game. He said Everton experienced a tough Monday and Tuesday, but now full focus is on Wednesday. They have to take all of this momentum into Wednesday. We know we can beat them. We know that happened last season. So the Everton players, they're going to use that game from last season to actually motivate themselves. He also said that because it's a Merseyside derby, he doesn't want it to be as big as it's supposed to be, because it might make a lot of the players fall under the pressure. They know it's a big game, but they know it's a game that they can win. So the Everton players looks like they have the mentality heading into this game. It's all about the Slot and Liverpool.
Let's be honest. This is now not just being disrespectful to Everton, but playing Liverpool is their biggest game of the season. So
for sure,
I mean, for them it's like 2 finals to try and beat Liverpool. So let's humble them. Humble this Braithwaite lightly. Let Salah drop him in the box and score a goal on Wednesday.
Just to talk about Everton's defense has been vulnerable this season, right? We all know that. As much as they've been keeping some... I'm very surprised by their clean sheet numbers. I'm surprised they got that many. But Everton have conceded 28 goals in 23 matches so far this season. So that...
More than a goal a game.
So that combined with the injuries as well, even though they don't have really defensive injuries, can Liverpool still, make the most out of this now? It's still a team that has their weaknesses. Liverpool's front three also is obviously one of the deadliest front three in the league. Mo Salah obviously leading that. Then you got Cody Gakpo, who's been on fire this season. And it all depends on Liverpool's striker.
I'll be honest with you, because of the type of game that it's going to be, in-your-face type football, I would start Darwin.
You start Darwin?
Yeah.
Oh my, okay.
With Gakpo and Salah. Let's face it, Diaz has not been on form.
Hey, Diaz, ever since Christmas time, he hasn't
and since he's been playing centrally, he's not been as prolific as he was beginning of the season when he played left.
Yeah.
But now Gakpo is playing out of his skin, and he's got a better goal return. Ever since he's been playing on the left, he's got a better goal return than Diaz.
You can already see that Salah and Gakpo, the wingers, are definitely very important. He doesn't really play with a striker that sacrifices himself as much as Bobby did. But for sure, the wingers is where the threats are going to come from. By the way, this is also a derby that has the most nil-nils. It's the Premier League, not just the derby. This is the Premier League match with the most nil-nils in history. I think it registers like 2.5 goals on average. Liverpool defensively also, we all know we can definitely stop Beto. Beto is Everton's main striker right now. It's all about if we can score, for real. It just depends on how Everton set up. If Everton set up, they've been playing a lot of like progressive passing also, like under Moyes there's been a lot more control for sure. So I don't know if that's going to be their approach. Moyes knows obviously to derail Liverpool will be as good as a trophy for Everton. So it depends on how deep he wants to set up also, or if he would like to give his fans a last good show for the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison.
Well, he's definitely going to park the bus, that I can assure you. He has to play low block. It will be suicidal of Everton to think they can play toe-to-toe with Liverpool football, because that will play into our hands.
For sure.
So they're going to definitely play low block, hit us on the counter, or try and hurt us through set pieces.
Set pieces for sure. I think that's going to be the main threat, and I'm going to definitely be a bit more worried for that than anything else.
But from set pieces, they've lost the threat of Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, they've lost Calvert-Lewin, but they got Beto, who's just as tall and physical.
Yeah.
They got their whole back line still with Tarkowski there.
But Tarkowski's not the biggest defender.
He scores a few set pieces, so him and Michael Keane. They get on the end of it sometimes.
Then the Corey is another player that's got height.
The core, this is going to be a bit under the radar, but I think that the Core versus Gravenberch battle is going to be very important also. Gravenberch is the only player in the Premier League who has 40 plus interceptions and 40 plus tackles. He's definitely not just a ball carrier, but he's definitely been Liverpool's sweeper this season also. He's very important. I think Liverpool on paper got the better team. Liverpool should get the win. Let's go into predictions. What are your predictions for this game?
Even if it's a 1-0, I just want 3 points. That's
3 points, 9 points clear for
a dirty win is the best win. So 2-1 to Liverpool.
2-1 to Liverpool. Okay. Going off all the stats and stuff, having it being one of the lowest scoring games in the Premier League, I'll go for a 2-0. I think we'll keep the clean sheet. I just don't see how the goals will come. No Dwight McNeil, no Calvert-Lewin. Obviously there are threats there and they're set pieces, but I think Liverpool with Van Dijk, Konate, Alisson, these are players that should be able to deal with set pieces. So I'm going for 2-0.